to the vlog. It's me and Colin's here. You can't even see your face a little bit. We're here. First, I want to start by saying thank you guys so much for all the love that I'm getting on my last video, my postpartum video. If you follow me over on Instagram, I know I talked in my stories about how I was a little nervous to upload that. I didn't know if it wanted to share all the details about how hard I struggled, but I mentioned that, you know, postpartum is something that I wasn't warned about and that not a lot of people talk about. So I kind of just wanted to share my experience, and I loved getting the responses about people who have had similar experiences and just the outpouring of love and support. I really appreciate it. I'm still doing well. I am going back for my 6-week checkup next week. So that's exciting. Hopefully I'll be cleared to start working out. I also am off my blood pressure meds as of yesterday. So she wanted me to be off them for a week before my appointment so that she can see if my blood pressure is regulated off the meds, which it's making me kind of anxious because yesterday was the first day I didn't take them and I woke up with a headache. So now I'm like, oh no, it's because I stopped taking my blood pressure meds, which it is probably unrelated. I was gonna wait to record this video because I look the way I do, but you know, I was like, this is a lifestyle and motherhood channel and this is my lifestyle and me being a mother. And if I waited until I looked cute, then I would never get this video recorded. So I wanted to share about some of our newborn shenanigans, all the drama revolving around having a newborn. And I don't know if all of this is typical, but I mentioned in my last video, I really think that she is preparing me to be world's most chill mom for the second baby because of all the things that we've experienced since she was born in the last 6 weeks, because she's 6 weeks old today. I'm not gonna talk anymore about her jaundice because I talked all about that in my postpartum videos. So if you wanna hear a little bit about our experience with jaundice, you can go check out my postpartum experience vlog. And now I know jaundice is pretty common and it's not really something to be freaked out about, but as a first-time mom, especially with anxiety, you know, you want the best for your baby and you want your baby to come out and be perfectly healthy and nothing be wrong. So even though it was a minor issue and she didn't have to go to the NICU for it, it was definitely something that was a challenge for us. Like I said, I'm not gonna go into a ton of detail about our experience going back to the hospital. The second thing was a clogged tear duct, which I hear is also pretty common for newborns, but something that no one tells you about. And if you're not a mom, then you have no idea what it is. And some moms are like, I have never heard of that either. I think she was like 5 days old. And I noticed some crust in her eye. So I was just kind of like wiping it away with a wet washcloth. And then she took a long nap and woke up and there was like, her eyelashes were stuck together and there was huge green gunk. And green to me is infection. So of course, I'm still not in a great place at that point. I freak out, start bawling my eyes out. My mind goes to, oh my gosh, her eye is infected and she's gonna lose her eyeball. I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's exactly where my mind went. Of course, everything like this happens on a weekend. So it was a Saturday and I called the pediatrician after hours number and it was my pediatrician's registered nurse. They go through all these questions. And after I answered all the questions, she was like, she needs to be seen within 24 hours just because she's so young. So then that made me freak out even more because the doctor wasn't gonna be open. So we were either gonna have to go to the hospital or an urgent care. And this is literally day 5 of having her home after all of that stuff that happened with me. So I'm an absolute mess. So I wasn't gonna wait until the next day. That night, it was like 6 p.m. Our pediatrician is part of the Cook's Children's Hospital, and there's a Cook's Children's Pediatrics urgent care in like 20 minutes away. So we went there, they examined her and told us that it was just a clogged tear duct and that it is totally common in newborns. Our tear duct that runs down the side of our nose is open so that your tears and all the things can run down your nose, and there's just a little piece of membrane that is blocking hers, so it's clogged. And you can do, I forget what the massage is, but an infant massage, and then anytime you see like the crust or the gunk, you just wipe it away with a warm washcloth like it was no big deal. She was like, oh, it's totally fine, it'll resolve on its own in 6 months to a year, which seems like forever to me, but it hasn't caused any issues. Obviously, if you see like signs of infection, then you just do a little like erythromycin ointment, which we did. I don't think it was infected, but the doctor prescribed it to us. So we did it for 7 days, knocked out whatever it was. She's 6 weeks now and she still has it for sure. I can just tell because her eye's always glossy and running, and then after naps, she definitely has some gunk in there. That was the second little experience we had there, and we were clueless that it's a normal thing or even a thing. So obviously it's a small issue, but as a first-time mom, you don't know what you don't know, and I freaked out about it, so that gave me a heart attack. And I was like, surely we're in the clear now, everything will be fine. Then all of my breastfeeding issues started. So from the beginning, she's been exclusively breastfed. Actually, that's not true. In the hospital and like for the next couple days after that, because of her jaundice levels, we wanted to make sure that she was peeing and pooping enough to get the bilirubin out, so we supplemented with formula as well as my colostrum. Anyway, but we had moved to just breast milk after my milk came in, and I was always concerned that she wasn't getting enough milk, which I feel like is super common for moms to be worried about, because when they're exclusively breastfed, you have no idea how much they're getting. And they tell you, like, as long as you have at least 6 dirty diapers and she's gaining weight, things like that, that she's probably getting enough. But again, you're talking to a person with anxiety, so I was freaked out about that. And that was about, like, she was 2 weeks old when I was dealing with all that. And she was eating truly every 2 hours on the dot. Like, I know they say 2 to 3 hours, but even now she'll go 2.5 hours sometimes, but for the most part, she eats right on 2 hours. She's a hungry girl. And I was also adding a pumping session in, so not replacing one of my feeds, but adding a session. So since breastfeeding is a supply and demand situation, your milk doesn't regulate until like 6 to 8 weeks, I think. So when she turned like 3 weeks old, because of all the breastfeeding that I had done in her first 2 weeks of life, my supply picked up like crazy, to the point where now I have an oversupply, and it turns out that I have an overactive letdown. So what that means is when your baby first starts breastfeeding, she's working hard to get the milk out, and then letdown starts like a minute or two afterwards, to where I guess your hormones or something signals the milk to like start flowing, and mine is overactive, so it's real aggressive. And because of that, and because everything in a newborn is immature, her suck, swallow, breathe reflex is immature, so she started choking on my overactive letdown. And I didn't know that's what it was at first. So the first time it happened, you know, I think it was on a bottle, because our pediatrician had told us, you know, now that she's been breastfeeding solid for 2 weeks, introduce a bottle once a day, just so that she starts to take a bottle and you won't be screwed down the line when you're trying to go places and she won't take a bottle. We had the wrong nipple on the bottle because that was flowing too fast. But then when my overactive letdown started, she was choking like one to two times every single feed. And it wasn't just like a choke and cough situation. Because that reflex that I talked about was immature, she would choke and just stop breathing. Like, she wouldn't try and clear her throat. She would hold her breath and not inhale for a very, very long time. And her lips would turn blue, her face would turn red. It was the most terrifying thing I have ever experienced. I sobbed. We ended up back at the urgent care because of course it was on a weekend. She held her breath for like a solid 10 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're watching your baby choke, it's a long time. So that's something that we're still currently dealing with. The ER or the urgent care told me that it was just a choking episode, probably. We also now have found out that she is a reflux baby, so luckily she's a happy spitter. It doesn't seem to bother her, but she's got reflux pretty bad. So she eats for about 30 minutes, 15 minutes a boob. And then I have to hold her upright for 30 to 40 minutes after each feed, which is a challenge at night, staying awake, because I'm up for like an hour and 15 minutes, even after she's fallen asleep. But anyway, we're still dealing with the choking. It has gotten a lot better just because she's gotten older, so that reflex has gotten better. Now when she chokes, she'll try and cough and clear it herself. She rarely holds her breath anymore, but she still will sometimes, but it's usually for like 5 seconds. Her lips don't really turn blue anymore, but it's still something we're dealing with for the last month. Yeah, 4 weeks, because it started at 2 weeks and she's 6 weeks today. And that by far has been the most challenging thing. It sucks. You know, my pediatrician, I've gotten all this checked out by a pediatrician, and I have been thinking about seeing a lactation consultant, but since it's gotten better, I've kind of not done that, but I might still anyway, because we have access through the hospital. But it has definitely been the hardest thing that we've had to deal with. My pediatrician she's amazing with me, and I'll message her on the portal, and our last appointment was really just an appointment for me because I had messaged her about the choking thing so many times on the portal that she was like, just come in. And you know, she looked at Collins, but it was really for me. She was like, this is going to happen. She was like, it's sad and it's scary, and I know that, but I want you to know that because of your overactive letdown and because that reflex is immature, it's normal. It's gonna happen, and it'll be okay. She'll grow out of it. You do not need to go to the urgent care again. Those were real words she said to me because she knows what a neurotic freak I am. I'm gonna stand up so she doesn't wake up. It's definitely gotten better. She does not choke every feed now. It's actually been like 2 days since she choked, which, knock on wood, that's the longest that she's been without doing it. So that's a blessing, but it just kind of sucks as a mom. I'm like, I've learned ways to deal with it. So like, I breastfeed reclined now, and she's literally tummy to tummy to me, so she has to work against gravity to get the milk out. And then what else? I just have to listen really closely to how often she's sucking and how often she's breathing, because I can hear, well, not hear, but I can feel when the letdown starts, and I can hear it because of her breathing. So she'll just start to swallow a lot more than she's breathing, and at that point I'll just unlatch. We'll see how long she stays happy for. She's not taking the passy. What was I saying? So when I can hear her swallowing more than she's breathing, or I can feel my letdown, then I'll just unlatch her, and make sure you, like, if you're dealing with the same thing, make sure you have a towel or a burp cloth or something, because the milk just goes everywhere. And I know it's a blessing to have an oversupply and all the things, but it is stressful and it's sad, and it just sucks so bad, especially now that it's on the mend. I break down anytime it happens because it feels like my fault, and it's just awful. The choking out of all of the things has definitely been the very worst experience, and something that she'll grow out of. I'm hoping that in the next month or two we will not see it happening anymore, but we'll see. And then the most recent thing we're dealing with is eczema. So we found out that she has seborrheic dermatitis. Seborrheic, I don't really know how to say it. It's in the eczema family, and I'm gonna put some pictures in here. It was the saddest thing in the world, and luckily it doesn't seem to bother her. Like, it doesn't make her fussy. She's not itching it, maybe because she's too young to itch it, I don't really know. But it was all over her body, her chest, her back, in the typical eczema places, so behind her knees, in her elbow creases, under her armpits, but it was also really bad on her neck and her face. It's just so hard to look at your perfect little baby and look at their skin and it look awful. Like, I don't know if that's selfish or vain, but it's just so sad. Like, it made me want to cry. It took forever to find something that worked on it. So we reached out to my doctor. We're actually waiting to be seen by a dermatologist, but it's gotten so much better. And I'm gonna share what we did in another video, but I'll show you her picture before and after. And really it's just the skin being dry, so we're moisturizing like all day long, and she goes to sleep with a whole bunch of moisturizer and Aquaphor all over her, which is disgusting, but you gotta do what works, you know. So anyway, the eczema is something that, just like everything else, I feel like the doctor said 6 to 12 months it'll sort itself out, but right now, oh, you getting fussy? I think she wants out of this thing. 1 second. Okay, we're back. We'll see how long this lasts. Are you being happy right now? Are you being happy? Let's see. Do you want a close-up? Can you say hi to YouTube? Oh. She's literally world's biggest wiggle worm. Are you trying to poop? You trying to poop? Well, you're pushing for something. Anyway, they've told us that we should just kind of keep her on the cooler side, and we're moisturizing that skin and say, I'm the most high maintenance toot in the world, but I'm the cutest toot. The cutest toot. Oh. Are you yawning? We're about to get fussy because we're hungry. Yeah. She's also started to coo a lot because she wants to talk to mama. You rootin'? Hi. Oh, there we go. We gonna get fussy. Anyway, I was pretty much done. The eczema is the last thing we're dealing with, and it's supposed to sort itself out as well. Are you a trooper? She's the most expressive baby, I swear. The amount of faces she does. Well, this is her getting pissed, but anyway. Okay, we're gonna end the vlog. I finally sat down and did it. All of these things, well, most of them. I'm really glad you guys heard that. I hope you did. Oh, also they say newborn poop isn't supposed to stink, but this is a stinky thing. It's a stinky poop box. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Say hi. Say bye, YouTube. Okay, we're gonna end the vlog. All of these things are a small price to pay for an adorable little daughter, but it's a lot as a first-time mom and as an anxious human being. So if you're experiencing any of these things, you are not alone. Let me know in the comments below if you are, if you've had an experience or you have any advice. Because like I said, I'm learning a lot, but I'm clueless. So me and Collins appreciate ya. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. So we'll try and record the next one soon. Okay? I'm gonna do a day in the life with a newborn. You're so cute. You're the cutest little pootie. Oh, she's farting again. That's why you're staying happy. Because normally we'd be screaming at this point. So yeah, I'll do a day in the life because as a first-time mom, I'm always curious about like what other moms are doing because I feel like I'm failing and all the moms are like, oh yeah, they're putting themselves to sleep and she's doing all her naps in her crib or bassinet and I'm over here wearing my baby for naps, so. She just wants to be held. She just wants her mom. Okay, like, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Say thanks for watching. Thank you for watching. Also, if you don't follow me on Instagram, do it and tell me, do you think she looks like me or do you think she looks like Steven? Oh, you do her faces. Ooh. That's pretty much our whole day. That's what I do. And I'm also in my underwear right now, so. Real life, 6 weeks old today. Happy 6-week birthday, poopy girl. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. Hope you enjoyed all our newborn drama. She's worth it all. She's worth it all. She's so cute and so chunky. Okay, bye.